grab it here. So I think I'll put Windows Server 2019 Datacenter edition on one of the servers. So let's have a look. So I'll put the link to the download site or to the download location in the comments. Basically you just land on this page, and then it's got lots of things to choose from, but you can take the 2019 Windows Server 2019 section here, and then you say, okay, I want to have the ISO, continue, and then you just fill in some very generic information, no big deal, and then you say continue, and then you get the ISO download. So what I did is, yeah, and this contains all the editions of the Datacenter edition. So it's the, yeah. So we'll see in the installation overview. I'll be showing that. This is a 180-day free trial, so you can run it for 180 days without a license. I burnt it to a Blu-ray disc because I didn't have any. That was the only burner drive I had around anymore. I haven't been burning discs for a long time. But it's a USB based, so you just plug it into a USB port. And I just connected it to a random port on the server and started the server, and it booted immediately, so I had no issues there. You can show that also in the video coming up soon. So, let's get into it. So, I did a USB-based CD-ROM drive. So, anyway, that was quite painless. To get it started at least. Let's see if the installation will be also. So that's English time currents format. We'll see when it asks for what edition we want to have. As far as I read the description of the ISO, this should have all versions of, or the potential to install whatever version of Windows Server 2019 you want. And you get 180 days of, here we go. Exactly. I want the Datacenter evaluation with desktop experience. 64-bit architecture, yes please. Yeah, you get 180 days of evaluation license. Wow, I found the disk. This is where it gets, like, you get really scared, like, when you press that specific next. Like, if this comes up blank, then, it's like, oh no, then you know, But that's nice. So it finds the RAID controller, it finds the logical drive defined on it. So that's nice. Okay, of course we have to now, see if it will actually work. Using the wrong mouse. There's too many mouses. So now use the correct one. Yes, this is the one connected to the server. The other one. So, okay, right. Okay, let's see what happens now then. I mean, the thing is that HP provides with the ILO functionality. If you have the license, you can actually you can remote access the server, like screen-wise, and then you can also have the option to set up virtual media, and you have the option of downloading operating systems directly into the server, or making predefined installation packages. But I mean, all that infrastructure is but it's nice to see that you can also do it on a low level, like on a per server basis. So if you want to be in, yeah, if you don't have that infrastructure licensing, or if you're in a repair scenario or something, that you can actually install stuff directly on the server. So it actually behaves itself, so it doesn't block you from it. I have heard of old server equipment where you actually, if I understood, you need to license a specific license from the vendor even to be able to install an operating system. I think it's a bit crazy. But this is looking promising. Well, getting ready to copy files. Or getting files ready for installation. It's actually a long time ago since I installed server personally. They didn't actually ask to that I should allocate space on drive on the volume before. So I'm assuming that it just has to select it. And now it's going to. I'm more happy with that. And licensing is available for this card, so if you I put some links in the cards. I hope I remember that. I just put the sound, so you can look at that. Aha, no network. Is it? This is the server that hasn't got the network interfaces installed. So I'm still waiting for those to arrive. So I was thinking of taking a chance and see if it would use the ILO. So I'll take a break here and I'll fix a temporary network for it. I mean, the rest of this is probably just pretty much standard Windows using. So. I think what I'll do is I will come back and comment on anything that's of super interest. Otherwise, I don't think this. This video is more about installing the operating system, not configuring it. So we'll see. If I find anything, I'll add it. So anyway, I did find a few interesting facts. As was stated, I didn't have the physical media adapters for the server in question, so I decided I would add Wi-Fi, and I just took a standard Wi-Fi dongle and stuck it into the USB port, and it complained about it didn't work. And then I looked in the device manager and I could see that it was, and then I tried to update the drivers, and it gave some very, very strange error when I said update the drivers. And then I tried another dongle and it did the same thing. So then I started searching on the internet, and I found out that on Windows Server 2019 Wi-Fi is a feature. So you actually have to enable the feature. So I just I'll put the command as a comment in so you can do it yourself. But the easiest way to activate it, well, the shortest way, is to bring up Windows PowerShell and then just enter that command, and then reboot the machine, and then you have then it will automatically install the drivers for the Wi-Fi, and everything will work just fine. But that was a bit of a trip up. As you see now, I have all green here in the dashboard, and this is not the case when you start up the system for the first time. It's a lot of red, especially on the local server, all servers, and it's basically related to services. So just ignore that. Make sure you apply all Windows updates. So do that first, because then you yeah. And then for those that want to use remote desktop, don't try and configure or use remote desktop before Windows updates is installed, because I had bad experience with that. And Windows update, the remote desktop needs to actually be enabled, so you have to do it. You go into local server and then you just say here, enable. So then you get the actual remote desktop working. As I said, don't try before you put the Windows updates. I had it didn't want to work for me, at least. Yeah, and then there's a service that basically comes up red. It's called Download Maps Manager, and it's a service that is started by other services if it's needed, but it is configured to be it's configured to be started on startup with a delay, and that's why it's red. So you know, this mechanism is a bit dumb. So it probably does start at startup after a delay, but then another service says, hey, you're not needed, I'm killing you, or it's shutting you down, and then it's shut down, and then you get it in the as a dumb red notification in the status. So you just come into here and you uncheck the service so that it's no longer monitored anymore. So then you get a nice green panel here. Let's see. Yeah, and then another thing, you know, after 180 days, you need to have a license for the actual server, Windows Server 2019 Datacenter Edition. So I put a link where you can get a license for that relatively cost efficiently. You also need to have user or device CAL licenses and/or remote desktop licenses, depending on your use case. And those I recommend you search through the usual seller sites, and you'll probably find a good deal for a package. Usually they come as packs of 50 or something. They're not outlandishly expensive. And then I just thought we could, as a bonus, we could actually go put the media adapters in place and see if the Ethernet connection starts working. So let's get into it. Media adapters. Take it out of the pack. So theoretically this one here, which is an SFP adapter, or media adapter, that's quite heavy actually. So you can get different media adapters, so depending on if you want to run, like in this case this is a 1 gig adapter, or 10 gig, or fiber, or multimode, or whatever. You get the actual SFP plus modules. Card stays the same, or the card stays the same, and then you slot in these modules, and there's lots of different variants of this technology. So let's see what happens when I plug this. Plug this in, and hopefully it's now I'm not sure if it installs the drivers and stuff automatically, or if the system will wake up. So I'm not sure. Get some network activity. We get some network activity, so that's promising. Actually want to do both of these to the network at the same time. I'll just run out this. Space, how are we going on? So, got a slightly bigger switch. And that's already running out, of course. So. Open the next package. It should be able to fit next to the other. And then we take the network cable. Oh, so activity lights. Well, that's at least a good sign. So let's check it out on console and see what we have. So let's have a look at the networking. So in the device manager, they are these two. So it's actually the card that accepts the media adapters is capable of 10 gigabit Ethernet traffic. So I could actually slot in a media adapter for 10 gigabit, and then if I have copper, and then if I had another unit, then I can plug in another one of those SPD modules, SPF modules, and then I could have 10 gigabit Ethernet. But now I'm running 1 gigabit Ethernet, so that's good enough for me right now. And then if one looks at the networking settings, then we have Ethernet 1, and then Ethernet 2, and then I've taken away. Ah, it's still showing the Wi-Fi. Why? I took the Wi-Fi out. This probably hasn't. Let's see. It's show available networks. No, sorry. Yeah, actually here's the actually more clear view. So you actually have the two Ethernet connections. And then let's see if this is up to date now after a delay. Yeah, now I took away the no the Wi-Fi. Okay, but now it says the Wi-Fi is disconnected, so it wasn't updating the status information. So that's cool. So now I actually have gigabit Ethernet on 2 ports, and yeah, the other server had 4 gigabit Ethernet ports already on the motherboard. So. And you can connect all the ports to your network. They'll pick up independent IP addresses, and if there's traffic, if there's connections being routed to the server, then you can actually connect to using the different IP addresses, and then you can do load balancing tricks and stuff, even on your own local usage. So I hope you found that informative. Please consider subscribing. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Merch is available, and if you'd like to, you could also buy me a cup of coffee. The links are in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.